everybody. And Jen's going to hang out. And Dennis and Richard, I'm so happy to see you both. This is a really important conversation and a topic that, we goes a little bit outside of motion picture and television, but not, because it's something all very near and dear to our hearts. What I love about what you guys are talking about is there's big problems to solve, and the world has to come together. However, there are easy solutions, and it's not without our or outside of our grasp. So maybe we're not there yet, but just some of those practical things that in the aggregate, they do make a big difference, and they should make you feel good about it.
Yeah, and that if I can just jump in here,
please,
Dennis, that's a really big, overwhelming human global problem.
Yeah,
no one's solving it on their own. There's no solution that's going to pop up tomorrow. And it's great to hear all this major government organizations getting together and working on it. They're talking about it now. At least that's a movement. It's not as fast as we want it, but it's very easy to get overwhelmed. And what can I do? And oh my God, we're lost. Yes, our biological clocks are ticking, but you know what? They are ticking. So let's get up and do the best we can. And one of the things doing the best we can and doing whatever you can, even on a very small level, is it saves you from that feeling of, I can't do anything. It's that depression, essentially. It makes you feel like you're doing something, and you are doing something and being part of. And, one of the things I want to say about ECA is it essentially is like a clearinghouse almost of different opportunities in various organizations. And when we talk about what can you as an individual do? Well, you can join a group. You can join an advocacy group like ECA, although ECA is not the only one. There's a number of others, 350.org, Third Act, Sunrise Movement for younger people, Surf Riders, which is about cleaning up beaches more than anything. But all of these are really great programs, and you multiply your efficacy by being part of a group. And I think a lot of these groups do this, but what ECA does is it works with these other groups and coordinates things so that, if you're interested in a particular area, say plastic cleanup on the beach with Surf Rider, ECA is a way to get to those people. I'm not saying you have to go through ECA, but it becomes a nice clearinghouse. But join a group. And part of what some of those groups do, ECA in particular, is we focus a lot on contacting our legislators and contacting businesses and making our voices heard. When you're operating on a national level, your voice is, one of 200 million people, 300 million people are out there. But when you start getting into the state level, it's much smaller. When you start getting into your local community, your voice makes a difference. You can get your state senator and council people, you can get to their offices, and that's something that I found particularly rewarding, and feeling that I'm getting something done.
We all have the responsibility to pay it forward in some way. I think, Dennis, what you and Richard are hitting on so deeply, and so many others, are just make your life about it. Make your purchases conscious. Be present in what you're doing. Look what you're buying. Look where you're buying it from, what your conversation is, how you teach your kids and your grandkids. And these are the things that if we all just start kind of changing our mindset, eventually the conversation changes. And then, it's like the oceans. There's a small wave and there's a tsunami. Eventually it will be a tsunami. We will get there.
It starts with one step. One little step makes a difference.
It really does. I feel like our residents, our community, like if anyone gets it, it's the creative community. They know the magic of one little project that was, let's say, like an indie film that no one ever thought would reach.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's reached the globe.
For motion picture members or campus members, residents, you probably have skills that could really or knowledge, skills, all of it, experience that can really contribute to what not only we're trying to do, but what this whole movement is trying to do. And when I mentioned that video game, I don't know the first thing about video games and the electronics of it and the cinematography of it, but there's probably people listening here who do. And if you want to get involved, please call us.
You had a great slide for what potentially people who are living on the campus could be able to volunteer their services, like the ways they could volunteer their services. And I know with the potential that we're 3/4 of the way through the pandemic and not actually complete with it, right? Fingers crossed. There are a lot of people with time on their hands who may find this a great way to make positive change in the world and fill up some of the hours in the day.
Yeah, I think, to your point, Jen, it's a win-win because, it is about, hey, for instance, I have time on my hands and, hey, how am I going to spend that? How am I going to spend that in a way that makes me feel good and that is productive? And, I love sitting around watching movies and there's nothing wrong with that. But, there's other things too, and getting up and, whatever it is, making some phone calls, or talking. You were mentioning, we all were bringing it up, Courtney, the youth, and getting out to the youth and talking to them about, this is going to be their world. It's hot now. It's going to get hotter if we don't watch it. And we're not here soliciting that, members sign up, fees, whatever.
There are no fees.
There's no fees, and you're more than welcome to come and take what you want, so to speak. If you wanted to find out ways to get to another organization, you can do that through us. If you wanted to find out ways to actually sit, again, a year ago, I was like, I don't even know how the legislature works, never mind calling them.
And we can really use the help of everybody who's listening today. Anybody who's listening, we've got something that you could enjoy doing for sure, no doubt.
And similar to picking up one cigarette butt from the ocean, one call to your representative, 3 calls to the various people that represent you and your interests. That makes an impact.
One last thing I put in the chat, there is an app you can get for your phone called Climate Action Now. It provides you daily little activities, texts, emails, calls, things you can do to make a difference, really make a difference.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.